I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody.
Welcome to the International Saturday Morning Community Forum. We're excited to bring you another broadcast. Each and every week we try to share information, inspiration, and engagement with you. This week we have another powerful broadcast. We dedicate our broadcast to former General Colin Powell, one of the most powerful, effective generals in the history of this country. Colin Powell is the first African American to be named head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's also the first African American Secretary of State. We were extremely proud of the work that he did, the moral stands that he took, and the way that he administered his office. And so we have a debt of gratitude to former General Colin Powell. May he rest in peace.
General Powell is an American hero, an American example, and a great American story.
That story starting in Harlem, where he was born of Jamaican parents, growing up in the South Bronx, eventually graduating from City College of New York. Powell entering the Army through ROTC. As a young second lieutenant, he served 2 decorated combat tours in Vietnam, later serving as a national security advisor to President Ronald Reagan at the end of the Cold War. He served under 4 presidents, highlighted by his appointment to Secretary of State under President George W. Bush.
Students at Colin Powell Middle School in South Suburban Matteson had a moment of silence in Colin Powell's memory. Powell's impact on the world isn't lost on these students.
I was thinking about just how much of a leader he was and how much he's inspired all the students at this school.
He was a very good person, the first U.S. Black Secretary of State, and he means a lot of things to me. He was a leader.
It was exactly 15 years ago Powell visited the school. It was shortly after the school opened in 2006.
He was in the Chicago area. It was nothing that was planned. He actually reached out to our district office and said he wanted to come and visit the school.
School board member Veronica Franklin says Powell spoke with 8th graders about his career in the military and government. Her niece was a student at the school at the time.
He was able to come in and be a living example in front of our Black and brown students.
Before Powell's visit, he wrote a letter to the school saying that he's received many awards and honors, but nothing pleases him more than to have a wonderful school named after him. The letter is one of many keepsakes on display to inspire students to reach their potential.
It says a whole lot, especially for our students to see that there's someone of color who reached such great heights.
We want them to know that you can be a leader and do anything that you put your mind to.
Highly regarded by America's political leaders, receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom twice. He was 84 years old.
We also want to congratulate Illinois House Speaker Chris Welch on his wedding anniversary, 11th wedding anniversary, as well as he is a first as well. He's the first African American to serve as Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives. Want to congratulate Barbara Bates, our Businesswoman of the Week, who has been for 35 years designing and producing what we call haute couture outfits for women. Comes out of Chicago, one of the most creative fashion designers in this country. Congratulations, and we salute you, Barbara Bates. Today, we continue to celebrate the 80th birthday of our founder, the Reverend Jesse Jackson. There are so many people that have been sending telegrams and emails and videos to celebrate, so we wanted to share some of those with you today. We didn't have enough time last week, and so we want to include some of these tributes. He's also having his birthday celebrated in New York by the Reverend Al Sharpton in New York on yesterday. Reverend Sharpton celebrated Reverend Jackson's birthday. Thank you, Reverend Sharpton, for all you do for our country, and thank you for celebrating our founder and your mentor.
Hello, Reverend Jesse Jackson. It's your favorite banker, Maurice Coleman from Bank of America Merrill Lynch. I just wanted to take a moment today to wish you a very happy birthday and to also say thank you for over 50 years of fearless fighting for civil rights and human rights domestically and internationally. It's because of you that so many of us have access to quality health care and quality education. It's because of you that so many of us have equal opportunity for fair employment and fair wages. It's because of you and all the work that you've done to support youth that so many of us have an opportunity to be whoever we choose to be in this lifetime. Thank you for continuing the fight around social justice. Thank you for always putting community first, and know that we celebrate you today and always. Wishing you a very, very happy birthday, and cheers to you and all that you've done. Bye now.
My name is Tiffany Kirk, and I'm the Community Development Manager for Regions Bank for Georgia and South Carolina. And on behalf of Regions Bank, I would like to say happy, happy birthday to you, Reverend Jesse Jackson. I hope that this year is one that allows you to continue to be prosperous, provide your wisdom to the Rainbow Push Coalition family and the communities that you are impacting every day, and a year that allows you to continue to be healthy and be the leader that we all need in this space of fighting for equity. Regions Bank is well aligned with the mission of Rainbow Push Coalition in making sure that our communities, primarily for those in my role, our low to moderate income communities, are equipped with the resources and the education that they need to make the best financial decisions. We have bankers that are in our branches that provide advice, guidance, and education every day to business owners who may not be ready for capital from us, but giving them that advice of how they can begin to get ready for banking and how they can access community resources like CDFIs and come back to us once they are ready for banking. And for those that are ready for banking, making sure that they have the resources, the best education and information that they need to make the most informed decisions so that they can grow their business, so that they can provide more jobs to the community and thrive in the communities that need them most. And so we are proud sponsors, we are proud supporters of Rainbow Push Coalition, and we will continue to be allies of the Rainbow Push Coalition in this space. So again, on behalf of Regions Bank, happy birthday to you, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and let us know how we can continue to serve the Rainbow Push Coalition.
Hi, I'm Chris Womack, Chairman, President, and CEO of Georgia Power. I am grateful for the opportunity today to celebrate a living icon. Reverend Jackson is the epitome of an American hero and a legend in his own time, while still writing history to this day. From my perspective and Georgia Power's involvement with his many efforts, such as Rainbow Push, Reverend Jackson has been an inspiring leader for decades and has shown a multitude of efforts across industries to advance social justice, civil rights, and political activism opportunities. For me, it's truly been a pleasure working with Reverend Jackson to help understand the accountabilities and the expectations that we must have within corporate America. Happy 80th birthday to this visionary leader that has insisted that real equality includes a seat at the table and a piece of the pie for everyone. Following in the footsteps of Reverend Jackson, Georgia Power has chosen to confront the recent social justice issues head on and initiated the Moving to Equity framework to guide our businesses and confirm our collective commitment to racial equity. The Moving to Equity framework includes 4 focus areas: talent, culture, community and political engagement, with a social justice initiative as a component of the community focus area. For years, there were policies and laws in place, some that continue to exist today, that made it impossible for Blacks and other minorities to buy property, get an education, obtain decent jobs, have the right to a fair trial, or vote in elections. And the result of those policies and laws are lost generational wealth, separation of families, increasing convictions, and a slower path to education and higher wages. Economic empowerment, education equity, and criminal justice are areas that, if positively impacted, can change the trajectory of Black and minority communities in a big way. Our employees and our customers represent our growing diverse communities across the state. We want to ensure that the communities that we all call home have opportunities for everyone to thrive. Georgia Power has been helping communities across the state grow and prosper for more than 100 years, and we want to continue to energize our communities in the most equitable ways. As a company, we want to be judged not only by the service we provide, but also for what we do to improve the quality of life for all people in the places that we live and work.
Pushing for you is what we do absolutely best, and Push is at work each and every day. This week, Betty Magnus, our own Betty Magnus. You normally see her if you're in Chicago. Well, she's in Georgia today, attending the trial of those who are accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery, Gregory and Travis McMichael, as well as William Bryan. We pray that justice will be done. And I know with Betty in the audience, she's gonna make sure that she watches and listens to every witness and all of the evidence. We believe that there will be a finding of guilty.
Have you, for any reason, formed and expressed any opinion in regard to the guilt or innocence of the accused?
On trial, Travis and Gregory McMichael, who along with their friend William Roddy Bryant, 3 white men, faced charges of murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment in last year's killing of Ahmaud Arbery, the black man gunned down while jogging. Arbery's mother telling ABC News she still has not brought herself to watch the video of her son's death, but plans to be in court for the trial.
But I plan to be in court every day that Ahmaud's name is called. As far as the video goes, I'll have to face that whenever that time comes.
Please raise your hand if you believe that people of color are not treated fairly in the criminal justice system.
Attorneys for both sides questioning potential jurors about their knowledge of Arbery's murder, their attitudes on race in America and the Black Lives Matter movement, and whether they believe they can remain impartial. The McMichaels argue they were acting under Georgia's former citizens arrest law after they say they saw Arbery inside of a home under construction and believed he was a burglar. The Arbery family lawyer Lee Merritt telling ABC News the defense cannot hide behind that law.
In order to justify the use of deadly force, they would have to prove, according to that same law, that Ahmaud Arbery was the, and I quote, initial aggressor, that he instigated the encounter with these men. Here, he clearly did not.
Potential jurors also asked to complete this questionnaire about the video of Arbery's shooting and the publicity of the case, asking, have you commented on this case in the news or on social media? Have you seen video of the shooting? And if yes, how many times? And it could take 2 weeks before all 12 jurors and 4 alternates are seated. The 3 defendants have pleaded not guilty to the charges.
Also, we're involved with Haitian relief and Haitian policy. We're urging American policy towards Haiti to deal with reinvestment in Haiti because we owe Haiti a major debt. Haiti fought for America. It is time for America to invest in Haiti. We want America to help rebuild Haiti's infrastructure as we're rebuilding ours. We want to make sure that America sends resources to Haiti for public health resources, in particular COVID vaccines to Haiti. And so you're going to hear now from some of our Haitian leaders, legal experts, as well as Haitian elected officials will share with you the Marshall Plan that they're asking for Haiti.
Haitian crisis takes on big meaning for us. Haiti is the first free African people in the country, in the world. First overthrow slave masters, Haiti means so much to us. When the founder of Chicago is a Haitian, DeSable. Don't stop there. Chicago, Haiti, beat Napoleon in Haiti and stopped French expansion. We all agree that Haiti is hated by many white people because they led the first successful slave rebellion against slavery. And at that time, Africa was under colonialism from the British, the French, the German, the Portuguese, the Dutch. They're afraid they create rebellions all across the world. They should have. Some small measure did. Also, you have the case Haiti of all of Africa, all the black world was under occupation. I want now the woman who head the Haitian Lawyers Association. She's now Sister Sanat, Haitian American. Hey, Sanat, come forward. Give her a big hand, please.
Thank you, Reverend. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you. I'm Anastasia Sanat. I'm the incoming president for the Haitian American Lawyers Association of Illinois. I brought with me Patricia Nabal, the president of the Haitian American Nurses Association. I've also brought with me Jude Laude, who is the spokesperson for the National Haitian American Elected Officials Network. And both of them have some information to share about why it's important to educate people on what's going on in Haiti, educate people about what it really means to be a black person who is an immigrant trying to get into this country. When you come here, you have to be treated with dignity, respect. So I know that my brothers and sisters have been struggling throughout the diaspora, but we need your help. We need you now. And here we are. I'm going to give the mic over to Patricia Nabal in order to kind of tell us what happened and what she saw in Del Rio and what she saw on the ground in Haiti. Patricia?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Patricia Nabal, president of the Haitian American Nurses Association. I stand before you as a concerned citizen and also the daughter of Haitian immigrants. I was able to go down to Del Rio to be able to see our brothers and sisters at the border. We also recently just went to Haiti. The needs are still very current and they're very dire. They are in need of so many resources right now. And though it may seem like the event has already occurred and we're past that point, we're still at the very same place that we were. We're in need of goods, we're in need of donations, we're in need of supplies for these people. The treatment that we observed at the border lets us know that we're in trouble at this moment. People are being detained, they're being sent back to conditions that we were able to see firsthand in Haiti are not conditions that people should have to go back to. People are living under tents in Haiti. There's no misunderstanding on why they're trying to get here to have better resources and better opportunities for all of them. So we just encourage you to continue to reach out, to continue to bring your donations here at 90 East 50th Street. We need diapers, we need formula for children, we need clothing, we need coats, we need shoes. Whatever it is that you can bring, it would be so much appreciated.
Good morning. First, I'd like to give a huge expression of gratitude and appreciation for Reverend Jesse Jackson. I remember being here as a young boy and following your advocacy and your work on behalf of our people. So we greatly appreciate you, sir, and you are an elder that has impacted so many of us. And thank you to you and your family. And thank you, Jonathan, for all the work that you've been doing. I used to listen to you on WVON, dropping the knowledge, you know. And thank you for the work that your family has done. And thank you for your ongoing advocacy for Haiti. I've been here many times when you all have stood up, when there have been various crises in Haiti, so we want to thank you. My name is Jude Laude, and I am a member of the Haitian Organization Collective here in Chicago, Illinois. I am also a former school board member of District 202 in Evanston, Illinois, and I am a member of NEON, the National Haitian American Elected Officials Network. And the organization sends greetings to you, Reverend Jackson, and to the Jackson family. This is a collective of Haitian American elected officials nationwide. As we were responding to the recent earthquake in Haiti, ensuring that this time around, as opposed to when the first earthquake happened, that there was accountability, as we know that much of the help that was pledged to Haiti never actually got to Haiti. Many multinational organizations were entrusted with helping to respond to the first earthquake. And through the lessons learned, we knew we had to be on the ground and also communicating with the White House, the State Department, those on the ground like USAID, to ensure there was accountability and that all the aid was being tracked. Then our brothers and sisters showed up at the border at Del Rio in Texas. Were treated inhumanely and were not afforded the humanitarian reception that should be given to migrants. So in response, the National Haitian American Elected Officials Network has made requests to the Biden administration. There are 13 points that I will quickly go through, not in detail. Number one, grant humanitarian parole to the migrants. The immediate halt of deportations. Collaborate with refugee agencies that are receiving many of these migrants that have been dispersed throughout the country. Discontinue the use of Title 42, which was introduced by the Trump administration, and it led to immediate deportations on the grounds of a health crisis due to COVID. Investigate the Border Patrol officers who inhumanely treated the Haitians savagely when they showed up at the borders. Provide resources for now for those who find themselves in the United States, many of them without families here. Some of them, their identification were stripped away from them at the border, and their funds, their whatever money they had with them as well. Provide resettlement funding, again. Build a better immigration system as a whole. It needs to be equitable. It needs to work not just for some, but it needs to work for the black and brown people as well. Address COVID concerns. Yes, it needs to work for us too. Address COVID concerns, testing and vaccinations. There are three more. An independent migrant audit to ensure that we, NEON, know the location of all the migrants who have been dispersed throughout this country, and we want to ensure that there is a comprehensive effort to resettle them. So thank you so very much for your support. Thank you, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Jonathan, we love you all. Thank you, Reverend.
Because you're part of something way bigger. You're part of something way bigger. Bigger than you, bigger than we, bigger than the picture they framed us to see. But now we see it. Yeah. No secret, no. Step out your estimate, step in your essence, and know that you're excellent. Rise. Spirit is teaching. No, I'm not just preaching. I'm taking my own. If you're feeling frustrated, then sinking, I'm jumping in. see. You're part of something way bigger.
Reverend Jackson, on many occasions, I've heard you share the wonderful story of Jackie Robinson, how breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball in 1947 greatly enhanced the level of play for America's pastime. Not only did the event clearly open the eyes of the nation to what a level playing field could do for the sport, but it broadened the thinking for many other elements of our society. In so many ways, Reverend, you've been the Jackie Robinson of the financial service industry. Your dedication, commitment, and belief in women and minority-owned firms has changed the landscape for corporate America. Where once there were no African American, Hispanic, or women-owned firms providing underwriting services for Fortune 500 companies, the last 20 years saw real advancement and regular participation by these incredibly innovative and strong minority business enterprises. Larger American companies are benefiting and increasing their own investor base and customer outreach by their inclusive thinking. Equality of opportunity is still not fully realized. However, from your efforts, the door's been pried open. Many of us are proudly stepping through it. This coming November, Reverend Jackson, the Roots of Blaylock Van will celebrate 30 years of being in business. At every bump of the road I have encountered during that time, you have never wavered in the fight to keep firms in our space included in the conversation. 1,000 thank yous from Ron Blaylock and from me, Eric Van Standifer, the founders of Blaylock Van, would not begin to cover the gratitude we have for your groundbreaking efforts. On this day, with many of your admirers raising a glass in your honor, happy birthday, Reverend. The world has been made a fairer place because of you.
We're celebrating the legend himself, that prophetic icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the game-changing gospel giant and prophetic witness. Happy 80th birthday. That's powerful. That's awesome. 80 years that have been filled with making a qualitative difference. So as much as we're excited about the quantity, 80, we're celebrating the quality within the quantity. Now, how can we celebrate this in a way that truly reflects appreciation for the man, the mission, the message, Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr.? I want to invite you to help us bring to pass a vision that was given to him by the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King had a dream of 1,000 churches connected. We got, 50 major markets. If we have 20 churches in those 50 major markets that would basically say, I'm going to connect with Rainbow Push. And in connecting with Rainbow Push, we'll do it on several levels. We'll do it by way of offering our financial support to Rainbow Push. I've already sent a check both to Reverend Jackson and to Rainbow Push because it's definitely necessary at this time that we understand the need to utilize our prophetic witness in an empowered fashion. I often say that while the Republicans are playing a game of power chess, the Democrats are trying to learn how to play checkers. Listen, we preach about power. We talk about power. The question is, are we going to wield power. Reverend Jackson says we can wield power with 1,000 churches around this country connected in investing in Rainbow Push, but also not only must we invest in Rainbow Push, I hope you join me and will contribute at least $1,000. I've done more than that, but you can do what God has blessed you to do. And then, not only that, I want to encourage you, as Reverend Jackson is talking about, we need, just as we have Sunday school classes, we've got to have social justice classes and teach what it means to unite or reunite in holy wedlock what never should have been divorced, Jesus and justice. That's what 1,000 churches connected can do. Imagine 1,000 churches throughout this country connected, wielding power, watch this, as one, but at the same time doing all we can to make a difference in our respective areas, being fed, watch this, information as well as inspiration from Rainbow Push as a family and Reverend Jesse Jackson as our fearless leader. So I hope that you'll join me. Join 1,000 Churches Connected. That's a real good way to say happy birthday, Reverend Jackson. Happy 80 years. God bless you. Keep hope alive.
Hi, Reverend Jackson. On behalf of everyone at the Coca-Cola Company, we would like to wish you a very happy birthday and congratulate you on such a special and important milestone. So many people have been touched by your leadership through the years. From solutions around education reform and desegregation, to civil and human rights and advocating for change, your actions have made a difference. And together with many other leaders and organizations, you continue to pave the way for continued progress on equity and inclusion around the world. Thank you.
Like you and everyone attending this conference, diversity, equity, and inclusion is in our DNA at Coca-Cola. It is at the heart of our values and the bedrock of our company's culture. Creating a diverse and inclusive workplace is not only the right thing to do, it's a strategic business priority. It fosters greater creativity, innovation, and connection to the communities we serve. It's woven into all aspects of how we do business, from talent management to supply chain to the processes that shape our vision, strategy, and operations. It's also why we partner with organizations like the Rainbow Push Coalition, so you can do what you do best. For example, over the last 20 years, Coca-Cola has provided nearly $6 million to support your Citizenship Education Fund initiatives and the annual Creating Opportunity Conference. And we see the great impact you are making.
Building on our history, we recognize that we must do more as a company. Over the past year, we have been accelerating our actions in response to social justice challenges in the U.S. In 2020, we gave more than $5 million in grants, donations, and employee matching programs from the Coca-Cola Company and the Coca-Cola Foundation to organizations advancing social justice. We also pledged to step up our spending with Black-owned enterprises across our supply chain by $500 million over the next 5 years. This pledge will provide Black entrepreneurs and innovators with opportunities for growth and economic empowerment. Finally, we are working to increase diverse representation in our U.S. workforce and leadership roles so that we mirror the diversity of the communities we serve. Our aspiration is for our workforce at every job level to reflect U.S. Census data by 2030.
We truly believe that diversity, equity, and inclusion make us stronger as a company and in our communities. It enables us to create a better shared future for people everywhere, empowers access to equal opportunities, and builds inclusion and belonging both in our workplaces and in society. We can only achieve our aspirations when we do them together. So thank you, Rainbow Push and Reverend Jackson, for your partnership and for all you do to advance equity and inclusion in our world.
Reverend Jackson, you're a pioneer in the civil, human rights, and social justice movements. You are a true change agent. and you have positively impacted so many people. We salute you and once again wish you a happy birthday. Cheers.
We're excited to get more people involved in Rainbow Push, supporting the programs of Push for Excellence and the Citizenship Education Fund. If you're interested in impacting public policies, if you believe in the scholarships that we give to thousands of students each and every year, you can become a policymaker by becoming a member of Rainbow Push right now. For an annual membership of $35, or if you're a student or senior, $15, you can help us make a difference in the lives of millions. How do you become a member? Visit our website at rainbowpush.org and press join. Or maybe you'd like to support us. You can text the word PUSH, that's PUSH, to 41444 on your cell phone, and you can give any amount you feel comfortable giving. You can also call us at 773-256-2775, or go to rainbowpush.org and push donate. Wherever you are, you can support us as we keep pushing for you.
Welcome to Due Process. I'm Todd Yeary. This week, the Senate failed to advance critical voting rights legislation after Republicans voted against the measure that would protect against restrictive new voting laws being passed in many Republican-led states. The Freedom to Vote Act, a compromise proposal that was intended to be more favorable to Senate holdout Joe Manchin, could not muster the necessary support to move to floor debate. This failure to move forward on critical voting rights legislation represents the third time that voting rights protections have been filibustered by Senate Republicans. With a clear lack of will to reform the arcane filibuster rules that continue to thwart critical legislative action, the focus now turns to Senator Manchin and Senator Kristen Sinema, who have opposed any action to modify or limit the filibuster. Meanwhile, President Biden indicated a commitment to filibuster reform, but only after the current stalemate over his economic agenda is resolved. Speaking to a CNN town hall audience in Baltimore, the president stated that he recognized the challenges that the current filibuster rules pose to moving much of his legislative agenda forward. However, in his calculation, pressing to revise the filibuster would cost him 3 critical votes in support for his physical infrastructure and human infrastructure, which he now calls the care economy, these measures. During the same town hall meeting, President Biden indicated that key planks of his Build Back Better plan will not likely remain in the proposal. Specifically, free community college has been stripped from the bill, as well as key energy reform measures that would phase out carbon-based energy sources, including coal. Neither of these proposals would gain the support of Joe Manchin, while the commitment to revising the tax code from the current disparate tax rate that favors corporations and the wealthy continues to be a non-starter for Senator Sinema. The president seemed reluctant to recognize that the biggest threat to his policy agenda lies within the Democratic Party. When asked about the current immigration challenges on the southern border of the United States, the president noted that some of the policy limitations have been imposed by the federal courts, while other areas, such as expedited processing of asylum claims by proposed new immigration judges, are intended to alleviate the backlog on the border. However, the president made no mention of the recent policy concerning Haitian migrants, nor the status of the several thousands of migrants who were recently removed from the border. We encourage all of you to reach out to your congressperson and senators to demand that they take decisive action in moving forward with the proposed economic agenda, and also ensure that voting rights and police reform legislation is passed, even if it means getting rid of the filibuster. A new report from the Sentencing Project this week highlights the disparities in the incarceration rates of blacks in America. The report, The Color of Justice, notes that blacks are incarcerated in state prisons at a rate 5 times higher than whites, with some states' prison population of blacks higher than 50% of the prison population. The report offered policy recommendations to address the disparities, including the elimination of mandatory minimum sentences, racial impact review of existing and proposed criminal statutes, and the decriminalization of low-level drug offenses. These recommendations seem to be in line with what we have seen from the progressive, though controversial, policies of many states' attorneys. In Baltimore, St. Louis County, and Cook County, Illinois, black women prosecutors have been leading the charge toward criminal justice reform. This week, I, along with my civil rights colleagues, including Attorney Ben Crump, stood to highlight the hypocrisy in the scrutiny applied to these reform warriors. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, St. Louis County, Missouri Prosecutor Kim Gardner, and Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby have all been harassed with bar complaints and criminal investigations as an affront to their policies of prosecutorial discretion and police reform. Joining me and Ben Crump were Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant of the New Birth Church in Atlanta, Maryland State NAACP President Willie Flowers, Baltimore City NAACP President Kobe Little, Attorney J. Wendell Gordon, and Attorney A. Scott Bolden, attorney for Marilyn Mosby. We stood to highlight the unfair treatment and scrutiny of these prosecutors and others of their peers, as well as to highlight the economic value to some interest in maintaining the status quo. We will continue the fight to ensure that these public servants and others who are serious about police and criminal justice reform are able to focus on doing what the people have elected them to do. The Education Trust released a report that underscores the inequities of student loan debt for black borrowers. The report identified attitudes black borrowers have about student loans and student loan debt. Specifically, the report noted that many borrowers don't believe student loans are good debt, and that income-based repayment plans burden student borrowers with long-term debt. Additionally, the report emphasized that the expectation of greater career and economic mobility as a result of incurring education debt is often not the experience of students of color. Income disparities along race among college graduates are evidence of this finding. More must be done to address education equity and the cancellation of student loan debt. It will not only be a wise investment in support of a knowledge-based economy, but will also positively impact the widening wealth gap that has only worsened during the coronavirus pandemic. Rainbow Push Coalition will continue to fight for substantive policies that alleviate the student loan debt burden and expands job access and wages for students to remain competitive in a global economy. That's this week's Due Process. I'm Todd Yeary.
One of the things that we're looking at very carefully at PUSH is this whole prison system nationally and locally. In Illinois, as in many states, the parole system is controlled by a state parole board. Oftentimes it does not reflect the composition of the population that's incarcerated. And so the treatment of those who are behind bars, their access to viable parole options are very limited oftentimes. And so we want to congratulate Chance the Rapper and Common, who decided to look at the prison system state by state. Chance, of course, and Common are from Illinois, so they're starting with the Illinois prison system. I want you to hear what they have to say. We know in Illinois and in states all across the country, one of the big issues that prisoners face is the placement of prisoners in solitary confinement, which is a decision made by guards and wardens that are oftentimes arbitrary, not based on some systematic approach to when they put someone in solitary and then how long they stay. So we'll be looking more and more at the prison industrial complex, particularly as it affects juveniles. Here now from Chance the Rapper and Common.
The bill to establish parole in Illinois, otherwise known as Earned Discretionary Release Bill, SB 2333, is a necessary policy that will begin to correct the harms of long-term incarceration that this state in the state and put an end to negative impacts that incarceration has on our community, family members, and the loved ones of those who are incarcerated. We need a criminal justice system that reflects the values we want to see in this world: compassion, community, care, restorative justice, and transformative justice.
And we talk about our country being a country where we a country of second chances and redemption. When are we gonna live up to that?
By listening.
Yeah. We say God bless America, that means God needs to bless the people incarcerated too. So hey, I'm here because everybody can advocate for SB 2333. We all can. And I'm encouraging the senators, let's get this moving. Let's get this going. One of the things in Statesville that a lot of the gentlemen said to me is, man, I've worked hard to change my life. I just want a chance for people to see that I'm a human being and that to go before parole board so they can make a choice. That's all we asking. We want our city to be better. We want our state to be better. We want this country to be better. We want better lives.
We're fighting for justice for Jelani Day. Reverend Jackson, Jonathan Luther Jackson, Bishop Tavis Grant, Reverend Cameron Barnes went to the graveside burial of Jelani Day.
I just saw one of the best things that God blessed me with. Go in the ground, and I won't ever get to talk to him or see him, nothing anymore. So when you ask me what's it like, it's, I don't even have the words to tell you what it's like. Because it's beyond hurt. Because I shouldn't be lowering him into the ground. Nothing in his life, nothing that his walk would make you think that he deserved to be found face down in a river, decomposed. I can't identify him.
This is a case that we are following. We support the Jelani Day family as they continue to try to find answers. What happened to Jelani Day? Who murdered Jelani Day and why? Listen to what happened when Reverend Jackson went to the cemetery. You'll hear from Jonathan. He'll give us an update.
Too much inaction. Since the Senator has not moved, he has not been involved. We'll get FBI involved. Just leaving the president to come to the state.
They're seeking justice. Who is Jelani Day? Jelani Day is a medical student in graduate school, head on right, in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. We want to know, how did this young man get into the river and get decomposed, and there's no urgency to find out about his death? We simply want to know that there's equal justice, the same sort of speed and diligence and alacrity that was put behind Miss Gabby Petito. We want to see that put behind every man, every child, every young lady. People that have lost loved ones have a right, and it's the right thing to do, it's the moral thing to do, to close murder cases. This is our focus. Why are we organized to meet on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.? Why did this come to being? Well, when my father, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, came to Chicago under the leadership of Reverend Martin Luther King, he wanted to have Operation Breadbasket. He picked up that model of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, where they met on Saturday mornings so they could go to church on Sunday morning. Church is for our personal salvation. This is a complement to the church. This is for social salvation. No church can make this amount of time for this message that Miss Day has given today. And I ask you, is this the work of the church that we are talking about? Doesn't Miss Day and other families deserve to have justice? Well, that's what we are about. We're going to have social salvation. Now, Ms. Day, I want to thank you, and I'm going to have you come back real soon. Doesn't she have a magnificent, beautiful family? And doesn't this woman represent a paragon of power and composure for what she's dealing with. This isn't a third-party case. This is her child. Now, on some housekeeping business in the work of the church. My father, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and I, we've been trying to reach out onto some good news to our Attorney General, Brother Kwame Raoul. I love and respect Brother Kwame Raoul, and this platform has been open to him ever since he first had public ambitions. I've not spoken to Kwame this past week after we've reached out. We're not gonna have a rah-rah cha-cha with a fist up in the air talking about Black Lives Matter. We're gonna show you that Black Lives Matter. We don't like to go into the backfield because we don't like to have inflammatory stuff, but sometimes I can't take it anymore. And I'm tired of waiting, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Once you have done everything we've asked you to do, to get up, to register, to vote, to go to the poll, and when we win, we cannot be treated like we are second-class citizens. We have Haitians in this city. If this city can be a sanctuary city for Hispanics and Mexicans, it can be a sanctuary city for Haitians. Not tomorrow, today. You all are missing the point. Ms. Day, if they can find $65 billion, they've asked for $6.5 billion for resettlement for Afghanistanis to come to America. They've never been an ally of the United States. We respect and we welcome our brothers from Afghanistan, all 95,000 that they have already approved. We're talking about Americans and America's oldest allies. The Haitians deserve to have money appropriated so they can resettle, relocate. There's not been an earthquake in Afghanistan. Their president flew out of town for his safety. The Haitian president was assassinated, and they've had a natural disaster. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's pick up our head. When we stand up, people get off of our back.
Push Excel's goal is to inspire students to strive for excellence in education in spite of personal, family, and community challenges that they might experience. How do we do this? By advocating for educational policies that guarantee equal funding for all students without regard to race or economic standing. By engaging parents, students, and teachers in pursuing high-quality education and striving for educational excellence at every level. And by forging partnerships with community-based and public sector stakeholders in education. Now, Push Excel is a national model program with the purpose of connecting principals, parents, popular personalities, and students in a bond and to support students at every level on the educational ladder. Now, we want you to become a member of the Rainbow Push Coalition and Push Excel. Your annual membership can help us to change policies that impact students, colleges, and universities all around the country. So step up and sign up today. Membership is only $35, and if you're a student or a senior, $15. Just go to our website, rainbowpush.org, and push join to become a member or push donate to support the Push Excel program. You can also text the word Push Excel, that's PUSHEXCEL, to 41444 on your cell phone, and you can give us any amount that you feel comfortable giving or call us at 773-256-2775. Wherever you are, you can support us as we keep pushing for you. And remember to keep hope alive.
Dr. Kim, I went to jail with a group of 7 students, July 17, 1960, almost 60 years ago. We never stopped moving. I lost a few of jail cells and death. We never stopped moving. I thought it was time to write some of it down so the older generation can learn how we did and what we did and how global it was. Was speaking about Mandela in South Africa, India, Qatar, about Gandhi in India, here at home. This book tells the story, so please get it and give it to your friends. Really, let's argue about it, let's discuss it.
Yep, so the book is Keeping Hope Alive, Sermons and Speeches of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. It's quite a good collection. You know, we've got sermons and speeches from around the globe because you have made such a global impact, not just here in the U.S., but around the world.
Thank you for tuning in to our International Saturday morning broadcast. We need your support. Here are ways to give to Rainbow Push Coalition. Text PUSH, P-U-S-H, to 41444 to support the work of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. and Rainbow Push Coalition. When you shop, Amazon gives. Visit Amazon Smile and select Push for Excellence as your charitable organization by starting your shopping at smile.amazon.com.
We are Sanctuary. We are a sanctuary.
When I think of Rainbow Push, I think of two words: social justice.
Education advocacy.
Political empowerment.
Freedom and equality.
Corporate partnership.
Stop the violence. Save the children. Don't get in. Shut it down. If we don't get in, shut it down.
Political change.
Inclusion, evolution. Progress, justice.
Jesse Jackson.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Somebody protect me. Protect me. Never neglect me. Never neglect me.
We want to be bridges to end these cultural gaps.
Going forward. By hope. Not backwards. By fear.